Okay, totally figured it out. So what it was is this handle is supposed to be in line here. I had started it in the wrong spot so that the handle was over here. That's why the machine wasn't turning on. I just tried it, it's working just fine. User error. I've heard it happens to some people. This guy. Anyways, okay, so here we go. Now we are ready to go. Let's juice this. Here we go. Yes. It's working. All right. Now it's not too loud, which is really nice. I did just listen to that first part of the video. The sound is terrible. I have a Bluetooth speaker, and I think it was like connecting and disconnecting from the Bluetooth speaker. I hope I turned the thing off, so hopefully it doesn't do that anymore. This is store-bought juice, so obviously, but it is cold pressed and non-pasteurized, which is way better because I want those bacteria. So there we go, and the pulp's coming out here. The juice is right here. This is so cool. I have not tried this in the van yet. This is the first time, so very cool. Raw food makes me feel so good. It's hard to describe. It just makes me feel so good. I'm not the only one. I mentioned earlier, Fully Raw Christina, Dan the Man, The Life Regenerator, John Rose, Shane Sterling, Jillian Berry. Love you guys, thank you. Spreading the word, motivation, life-changing. Truly, my dreams are so vivid, so clear, I can remember them. I feel like I learn things in my dreams versus just random stuff like it used to be. I just feel very much more connected to God, spiritually aware. It kind of feels funny to say this stuff out loud, but there's something in the juice. There's something in the juice. Okay, so now we got through that first batch. Now, watch this. Oh, don't splash. All right. Cool. All right, first batch done. Let's load it up again. So it's so simple. Like, you know, really, if I was doing this not on camera, I would have loaded it while I was prepping the other stuff. So I prepped everything first, which is not how I normally do it. I just prep enough to get it going, and then load it up with the next thing. And I'm gonna cut these apples in half. I could just put the whole thing in, but I just want to take it easy on my baby, because she is bringing me back to life. And Ginger, ooh, baby. Okay, that's probably good for this batch. And here we go. Love this thing. Love this thing. I wish I got it a long time ago. I've had the Norwalk, $2,500 we served. That was a gift. Love you, Mom, thank you. I have had 2 Brevils, the Juice Fountain Elite, and then their newer one, the cold press Juice Fountain Elite, whatever it's called. Still have that if anybody wants it, it's for sale. And I have had, what else? Oh, I started off with the Champion. The Champion was back when I was in college, and that's the first time I ever juiced. Wow. I remember that. It makes you feel so good. And then I've gone long periods where I just didn't do it at all and gave up on the whole thing. That being said, the Champion is kind of a pain in the ass to use. I'm going to waste it. But if I were to sit down and eat all that produce, yeah, it would take, I don't know, I think I probably could eat that much in one big meal if my stomach was totally empty and I was stuck really hungry. But with this, you can get basically all the nutrition from that produce, minus the fiber, and you do lose some of the nutrition, but wow, it's like liquid vitamins. Supposed to be on a juice fast. I've got a friend, and she is her name. Beautiful, beautiful woman, and I think she's being more on point than I am. I've cheated with salad a couple times, or several times, and all raw food though. So now my cheat is raw food, raw solid food, but I'm not too worried about it because I know how I am, and I know if I just do it my way and ease into it, I can make it a permanent thing. I in the past, when I was younger, I had the tendency to just go a little bit overboard with things. My family's laughing if they're watching this, but and then you kind of get yourself scared away from the whole thing. So I don't want to do that again, because I've also done that with the raw food thing. So I've been transitioning thanks to Professor Spira. That was one of the biggest things I learned from his message, was how important it is to transition and not necessarily just go full blast into this thing. So I have been transitioning for too long, but for a while. And Professor Spira, you'll be happy to know I'm off the steak. That was my big thing. I still kind of crave it every once in a while, even on this cleanse. And I'm not saying I won't ever eat a steak again. It is delicious, but I don't know. We'll see. I do feel bad for the animals. I have killed well, not me personally, but I have been involved in slaughtering a cow from the field, which was necessary. If you're going to eat beef, it is necessary to kill the animal, obviously. But it was kind of sad. Not gonna lie, it was sad, actually, very sad. The whole herd, this was in Hawaii, so this guy shoots it out in the field, and we dragged it with a truck over to a tree and then hoisted it up in the tree, and I helped butcher it. So 3-4 guys with knives cutting this cow up in front of all of his friends and family, all the cow's friends and family, and they were crying and screaming at us and trying to scare us away from their friend who is now dead. But we chased them off, and then they left us alone, and we cut their friend up and ate him. So I don't know how I feel about that right now. I don't know. I do know that I've done vegan and vegetarian in the past, and I do know when I've done it, it does make me feel more compassion towards the animals. And when I do eat meat, I don't feel as much compassion toward the animals. It's like, yeah, because they're my food, I'm going to eat them. But it's a weird thing. When you stop eating them, all of a sudden you start feeling more compassion for them. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Here we go. Last batch. And then, so on the Shane Sterling's cleanse, what is it? We're doing 3 quarts of lemon ginger blast a day, and then 3 quarts of some sort of citrus, or I do have a pineapple. Actually, maybe we'll juice this on this video, this pineapple as well. The pineapple and citrus are very astringent. I would say that lemon ginger blast is pretty astringent as well. Maybe just the lemon in there, I don't know, but it's pulling. I need to look up the definition of it, but pulling, like it just feels like it pulls the mucus and pus out of your body. I've been on both sides, extremely congested and extremely clear. I've done a lot of water fasting. It's been a few years since I've done it, since I left Hawaii. But I've had all kinds of mucus and pus come out of my body, and mucoid plaque. If you don't know what that is, maybe I'll put some pictures up. I did get a Final Cut Pro, so I'm going to edit these videos and make them more interesting, or attempt to do so, than just a guy in front of the camera with some more visuals to illustrate what we're talking about. So mucoid plaque. It is argued whether it's real or not. I have been in that argument multiple times with medical professionals. And they say it's not real because they don't see it on the colonoscopies. But if I did my editing right, and I'm putting all the pictures that you can see if you Google image mucoid plaque, there are hundreds, maybe thousands, I'm not sure, of pictures that people have posted on the internet of mucoid plaque. It is not normal poop. It's like rubber and super foul and shaped like your intestines. And I don't think all of those people Google, or not Google, photoshopped those pictures. I don't think anybody would sit down and do that. Maybe somebody, but I don't think all of those people did that. So they are taking pictures of something real. Besides the fact, I can anecdotally say I have seen it come out of myself on a 7-day water fast. On the 7th day, I filled the toilet with mucoid plaque. It was coming out of the water, and it was as black as this Nama juicer, shiny, and stunk so bad. So I would like to get that out again. Shane Sterling, you are the man. Thank you, sir, for your service on the internet and helping all of us people hopefully go raw vegan and change the paradigm here. He claims that we won't be able to get it out without doing the juice fast. And the juice fast, he did 40 days. The juice fast helps you get it out, and then it makes it so that you can absorb the raw food better, so that you can actually live on raw food. So that's interesting. I honestly, Shane, I am cheating. I don't think I can claim that I'm on a juice fast because I have eaten so much solid food during the so-called juice fast that I started May 1st. So maybe I need to get real and actually do juice only. But that being said, besides a couple just very small things, it's been all raw food, all raw solid food. So I am still experiencing a lot of benefits, but I haven't seen any mucoid plaque. I've seen some really weird stuff, but I know what mucoid plaque looks like. And that's it. Here we go. See if I can get a couple more drips out of here. Oh yeah. Don't want to overflow here. Man, that was a perfect amount. It just filled the juice container. And then Nama did just come out with a new hopper that's bigger. This one I think is 2 liters, and then the new one is 3 liters, and then they have a bigger juice catcher. I think a bigger pulp catcher as well. I might get that at some but this is perfect for me. Now, where are my jars? I almost just want to drink this whole thing right now. How about we do that? I used to chug juice when I first, well, not when I first, but I used to just chug the whole thing. Why don't we do it? I haven't had dinner. This will be my dinner. Perfect. Fresh as it gets, right? Here we go. This is a lot. Ooh, that's spicy. It's so good. It's so good. You know that feeling you get when you want to eat the junk food, and then you eat it, and then regret? Maybe not everybody feels that, but this, when you drink it, it's like, yeah, it's spicy. Yes, it tastes like a bunch of herbs. I wouldn't recommend this after you're like eating a pizza or a Snickers bar or something like that, because that's gonna probably taste horrible. But when you're really hungry, like I am. I just lifted weights, did yoga, sat in the sauna. So I'm hungry, it's dinner time. Man, it tastes phenomenal. And I can feel how good for me it is. Sorry, this is like right in my face. I go through this cleanse or detox. I have been slowing it down. These are with nuts, macadamia nuts, pistachios. It is fat and protein, mostly fat for the nuts, but that slows down the detox. I know that from multiple of these raw food sources, experts on the internet. Wanted to slow it down, because I am working and it can be intense sometimes when you're detoxing. All that being said, I'm still detoxing very strongly. Constipation and then diarrhea, and then as my bowels are reformatting with new microbes and a whole new flora. It's really fun. The whole thing is really fun, I have to say. It makes regular life, like standard American, probably standard world for the most part, seem very boring and monotonous and constipating and congesting. This feels like more and more expansive and clear and light. I don't feel any strength diminishment in the gym. I'm going slowly. I didn't lift weights since I was basically 19. I started doing yoga. I have a whole yoga series I'm working on. I can't wait to release that. It's a series I've been doing for, probably getting close to 15 years, that I made on my own. I got it from a thousands of year old tradition, all the books I've read and classes I've done and teachers I've worked with. And but to me, I feel like it's the most logical progression of the different asanas. Just keep talking because there is a lot to say, and I know what I think I know, and I don't think a lot of people know a lot of things. I talk to people all the time. Has anybody ever heard of atelectasis? Atelectasis is something that happens when your lungs collapse. The little alveoli, the little smallest functional unit in your lung, collapses. And this happens when people are smoking or breathing a lot of pollution, or laying in bed, like let's say in a hospital for extended period of time, and they're taking very shallow breaths. The little alveoli pop. And so if you look at it under a microscope, your lungs look like basically like a cluster of grapes, all these little bubbles, right? And that's where the oxygen comes in and the carbon dioxide's in the blood on the other side, and then they switch. The blood pushes the carbon dioxide into the alveoli and the oxygen comes into the blood, right? So that's gas exchange. But when we're not using it, we're losing it. So these little, if you're taking shallow breaths all the time, these little bubbles pop. And instead of having a bunch of little tiny grapes, you have one big, like an orange or something, right? And it might seem like that's okay, it's the same area, and you just have one big one instead of a bunch of little ones. Now, this is how I understand it. Maybe I'm wrong somewhere in the science here, but you lose surface area when there's one big one instead of a bunch of little ones. So if you were to spread your lungs out, the average adult, if you were to take all those little alveoli and spread them out flat, it's basically the size of a tennis court. At a time, or actually just taking shallow breaths in life on a regular basis. I have to remind myself to take deep breaths on a regular basis, and I do breathing exercises to help with that. We lose our surface area, which is how we exchange the oxygen and the carbon dioxide. So then you get something called COPD. With the smokers, almost all the smokers get COPD to some extent. You lose the surface area. Now you have less area to do this gas exchange. The air is where we get our energy. Really is where we get our energy, is the air. The food as well and the water as well, of course, but like when people don't have the gas exchange because their lung tissues are scarred, they don't have a lot of energy. And if it's really bad, it's really bad. They have no energy, like they can't even walk across the room. I know several people like this. I've met several people like this. And they feel like they're getting suffocated constantly because they can't get the carbon dioxide out of their blood because they have reduced lung tissue, functional lung tissue. It's scarred. So now their carbon dioxide is building up in their blood. That, if you, okay, where did I hear this? I haven't tried this, but if you take pure carbon dioxide and you blow it in somebody's face, supposedly it will give you an instant sense of anxiety, because we have, I believe it's called the baroreceptors in our carotid arteries here. So when it's high, it signals your brain to feel anxious, state of anxiety. Now, long enough, and you don't see any hope of it ever getting better, which I don't even want to say that, but really it's probably not going to once you're that far gone. Yes, it feels good to smoke. That's why people get addicted. Sugar tastes good. Pure processed sugar tastes fantastic. That's why people get addicted. Fast food tastes good. That's why people get addicted. You know, everybody says, yeah, but if it tastes good, and then it must be good for me. That's like not even logical. Antifreeze tastes good. It's sweet. That's why dogs will eat the antifreeze. I want to mention one other thing. This might, I don't know if this might turn off some people. Oh, so good. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. More to come. I just wanted to get the ball rolling. It's like starting this YouTube channel. It's like, where do you even start? You know, I don't know. So I got the green screen and, you know, tripod. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't have a script. I'm just gonna start, make my lemon ginger blast and film it. So that's what this video is. Me rapping about a bunch of random stuff. I want to get more organized, lay things out, bullet points. I've got the software. I'm gonna edit. I did edit. I won't mention who, but I did edit somebody's YouTube, so I have some rudimentary skills. So we'll see where we go. Anyways, aloha. Love you guys. Try the Nama Juicer Lemon Ginger Blast. Try a solid food vacation, as John Rose says. Juice feast, juice fast, juice cleanse, whatever you want to call it. Purge the bowels, try raw food, transition slowly, as Professor Spira says. You're in for a treat, as John Rose says. I love you guys, all of you guys. Thank you.